All right, okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Sea Lion display. My name is Ellie, and as you can tell, I've brought two of our sea lions out to meet you all. And the first job for these two is to give everybody a nice wave hello. But these guys, they won't wave to you unless you guys are all waving to them first. So everybody get those hands up, give us a big old wave. We go, that's Knowsley, yeah? Come on you two, that's it, say hello to everybody. Excellent stuff, well done there. These two, they're both California sea lions. And as the name does suggest, you can of course find the largest population of this particular type of sea lion all along the coast of California. You can also find them as far north as Canada, where it does get quite cold, and as far south as Mexico, where of course it's lovely and warm. So these guys, they really are a wide-ranging, versatile species, and that means they can cope with the good old British weather. Now these two, they're not fully grown, not even this big fella, and they won't be fully grown till they're around 18 years old. By that time, these two, they're going to reach lengths of around 2 to 2.5 metres, so this little fella, he's going to get quite a bit taller, but they could also end up weighing anything between 30 to possibly even 40 stone. So they're also going to get a lot fatter and a lot heavier too. This chap here, he's weighing in at 21 stone. So in theory, he could double in size. He isn't going to get that big. He's 17. He's only got a year's worth of, bless you, growing to do. So I reckon he'll reach about 26, 27 stone. But it just gives you an idea visually how big 40 stone is. Imagine two of him stuck together. That will give you a rough idea. Let me introduce you to them both. We're going to start with this little chap first. This little guy, he's called Roger. Roger is one of our youngsters. He's 8 years old, so he's not a baby, but he's one of the younger ones. Very clever, very excitable, and very friendly. He likes nothing more than a flipper shake and a kiss, so I'm going to do that with him right now. Hello, little man, how are you doing? You okay? Oh, thank you, that's a good boy. So that's Roger. Now, the big noisy one over in the corner there, he's called Arthur. Arthur is the biggest and the eldest of the three sea lions that we look after. He's also the naughtiest. Arthur is the most likely to muck about. He could cause trouble in an empty house, if I'm honest, and he's quite noisy. But he's very clever too, and don't let his size put you off. He's a big old softie. He loves a flipper shake too, don't you, big man? How you doing, fella? Are you going to be a good boy in this display? You are, are you? I will believe that when I see it, that is for sure. So, before we go any further, we've got to wish somebody a happy birthday. Now, I know he's in here somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. Where's Anthony? Give me a big wave, Anthony. Where have you gone? Where are you? Oh, there you are, over that side. What are you doing over there? You're normally over here. Now, it's Anthony's 4th birthday today, and the sea lions are his favourite thing in the whole wide world. Now, when anybody has a birthday in the Sea Lion building, we get everybody in here, including the sea lions, to give them a big round of applause. So, happy birthday, Anthony. Have a great day, mate. Let's give him a round of applause to help him celebrate. Excellent stuff. Well done. So the first thing that these two are going to show you is an ability that sea lions are famous for. And that's their ability to balance things on their noses. I've got some footballs here. We're going to get them both to do some showing off. So we'll give Arthur his football first, because it keeps him quiet. There you go. That's it, buddy. You hold on to that. And Roger, you look after that one. So, lots of people know sea lions can balance, but not everybody knows how they do it. The secret to it is the lovely whiskers you can see on the sea lions' faces. Those whiskers, they're really very sensitive. And if you guys look closely, you can see Arthur and Roger's whiskers are not only pointing upwards, they're also moving them around. And that's because they're feeling which way, oops, a daisy, don't you bite it, the football is moving. Take it back to your stand, you. That's it, good lad. He's just ruined the next bit, but that's okay. So, just by listening to those whiskers, as long as these two listen, they know which way to move their heads to stop the footballs from falling off. And of course, as we've just seen with Arthur, when he's not listening or concentrating, they can't balance. Now, those whiskers do, of course, have a much more important use. Thanks, mate. In the wild, sea lions use them to find their food. Sea lions eat fish and squid for a living. And when fish and squid swim, they create vibrations in the water that the sea lions pick up on with those whiskers. This means they can pinpoint exactly where the fish and squid are hiding. In fact, their whiskers are so sensitive, they already know what type of fish and how big it is without needing to see it first. That's it, Arthur. Yeah, give them both a big round of applause. Well done, you two. Well done, sunshine. You got there in the end, didn't you? So as I say, these two, they are sea lions. They're not seals. People call them seals all the time, but it isn't true. They're two completely different species. To be fair, they do look quite similar. So between the three of us, we're going to show you how to tell them apart. So the first thing you're looking for is how do they swim. Sea lions only ever swim using their massive front flippers. Show me how many front flippers you two, let's have a little look. That's it, here we go. Actually, I've been teaching Arthur to do something different with this bit. Come over here, Arthur, that's it. What I want you to do is show everybody one front flipper, okay? So hold that flipper out there, that's it. Oh, you've got it, hold it out and then hold it back. Now, as I say, this is fairly new for Arthur, but look at that. Look at the size of that front flipper. And when these guys swim, they look like they're flying. Because they move these paddles up and down like a pair of rings through the water. So I think we can go back now. That's it. Now, if Arthur and Roger were both seals, their front flippers, well, they'd actually be about the size of my hands. And they'd be stuck to the sides of their bodies like this, making them really difficult to swim with. So instead, seals use the back flippers when they're swimming, and they move those back flippers from side to side like a fish. Now, because these guys do swim with their upper bodies, it means they're incredibly strong and really good at the old gymnastics as well. Arthur, show everybody a front flipper stand for me. That's it, there we go. Now, this is something only a sea lion can do. Seals can't do it, because their tiny front flippers wouldn't support all that weight. Now, if you came to see us last year, or maybe the year before that, you might remember we were trying to teach Roger to do the front flipper stand. Well, you'll be really pleased to know we're still trying to teach Roger to do the front flipper stand. So, whereas Arthur lifts his bum up, as we saw, and he holds it all lovely, Roger looks a bit like a seesaw, because his little bum goes up and down furiously. Now, I am going to get him to show you. It'll take him a second or two to warm up. You do have to bear with him. All right, Rog, let's have a little look at yours then. Get your little bum up in the air. There we go, this is Roger's. Now, I do live in hope that one day Roger might actually get the hang of it, but until that day comes, give Roger a big round of applause to try. Well done, really, really good. Stop stealing the limelight. I don't know where that's come from. He never used to do that, and then all of a sudden, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, suddenly Arthur wants to steal Roger's limelight, bless him. Now, there is a much better way to tell a sea lion from a seal, and I've saved the best for last. The best way to tell them apart, watch how they move on land. Come on you, come and help me out with this. Now me and Arthur, what we're going to do is go for a little wander around so I can show you guys what I'm awfully all about. And as we go, we just want you to look at all of Arthur's flippers. Now the first thing to show you, and you can see it in Roger too, their front flippers have an elbow joint. they do this. They make an L shape. And that gives them a pair of feet at the front. Their back flippers are a bit different because they can rotate them forwards and backwards. Now at the moment, as you can see, Arthur has them both facing forwards because he knows we're about to go for a walk. So he also knows he needs another pair of feet. But when these guys are sleeping or swimming, they'll actually turn those flippers right out behind them, so they'll be pointing at you guys instead. So let's go for a little walk. You guys can see, Arthur now has 4 walking limbs, and they all move independently. And this makes a sea lion really, really mobile. Arthur's a big lad, but he's agile. He can climb over things. He can use his back flippers to climb and try to reach for things. These guys can run at speeds of up to 10 miles an hour, and they can roll themselves over. So on land, sea lions, they're fast and they're mobile too. Seals, on the other hand, do move very differently, don't they, Arthur? Are you going to show everyone? Come on then. How does a seal move, Arth? Yeah, there you go. They sort of jiggle along on their bellies and they look like giant slugs. Now there's a good reason for that, and it's all down to those tiny front flippers. Because seals have these front flippers and because they're stuck like this, they can't use them as feet. So seals, they can't walk, they can't climb, and they definitely can't run. Very well done, Arthur. Hello, Roger. You want to show everybody yours now, don't you? Now, to be fair to Roger, he does do the seal impression. In my humble opinion, he looks more like a new walking caterpillar. But we'll see what you guys think. Come on then, you. Let's look at yours. Yeah, look at that. Look how smooth he is. Hey, I tell you what, though, give them both a big round of applause. So they're the differences. Now, there are, of course, a couple of things that seals and sea lions share. One of those things is pretty important because it's their food, their daily diet of fish and squid. Fish and squid aren't easy things to catch. Sea lions need good eyesight and a good sense of speed and direction. Now here at Knowsley, we give these guys their food. They've got herring and sprats today. So to show you guys how good they are, I'm going to throw 5 rings to Roger, and we're going to see how many he can catch. All right, Roger, you ready? Here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. The last one, I tried to make it a bit trickier. I'm going to give it a spin. It'll make it faster and harder for Roger to catch. So if he does, you've got to give him a big round of applause for me. All right, Triple Toes, here it comes. Ready? Up. And down. Good catch. Well done, you. Now, of course, if Roger were in the wild, he wouldn't be catching fish on the beach. He'd be swimming after them instead. So I'm going to send him into the water now. I'm going to throw the rings from that side to that side, just so you guys can see how fast he is. All right, Roger, here you go. That's it. Okay, sunshine, ready, turn around, because your first one goes all the way over there. Turn around, there's 2, 3, 4, and there is number 5. Yeah, that was bad, Rog. Wasn't the quickest, but well done. Now, the other thing that seals and sea lions share is a little bit more dangerous because it's their enemies. California sea lions have 2 particular types. The first one is the killer whale, or the orca, that's its proper name. I'm not going to tell you the second one because Arthur does a very good impression of that too. So Arthur, show everybody this time, what's your deadliest enemy? Yeah, he's got it. So we're talking the tiger shark, the bull shark, the hammerhead and the great white. They think sea lions make a very nice lunch. So the minute these guys think an enemy is close by, they swim back to the beach where they're nice and safe. Yeah, give them a round of applause for a start. Well done, you. We do want to what's this? Okay, well, do you know what, guys? We are quite close to the end of this afternoon's display, but before we go, we're going to get these two to finish things off with their high ball jumps. Now, this is where they're going to take in turns to leap out of the water and try to touch that pink ball with their nose. Now, Roger's going first, and at the minute, Roger can hit the high ball around about there. Roger, is that okay? Yeah, sure? Okay. Now, if you've never been before, Roger is quite the daredevil. So he's going to be starting his high ball attempt from up there, on top of his tower. So in a minute, the little fella, he's going to climb the stairs to the platform at the top. He's then going to dive off into the water, swim across, and try to touch that pink ball with his nose. Now, of course, if he does, once again, you guys have got to give him a big round of applause. He's been ever so good. And this takes tons of effort. All right, little man, that's it, off you go. Now watch how quickly Roger climbs the stairs. It's a great example of mobility. Look at that. He's at the top. He's away when he hit the high ball. Easy. Well done, Rog, that was a belter. Very good one, you down there. Now, that jump there, it's too easy for noisy pants. You have to make it a bit higher for him. Before I do that though, it gives me a quick chance to tell you about our posters. At the end of the display, we will be selling posters of Arthur, Roger and Louis, our other little sea lion. We're selling them from both sets of doors. They're £2 each, or you can get all three of them for a £5. Now I know times have been tight for everybody, folks, I understand that. But it has been a massive struggle for us here at the Sea Lions. So if you can afford to support us and buy a poster, we really would appreciate the help at the moment. We haven't finished yet though. It's Arthur's turn. See you later, Trouble. Now Arthur's high ball goes to this mark just here. And there is a little bit of a difference, and it's not just down to size. You see, Arthur doesn't jump off of the tower. He starts from where he is now. He's still got to hit it, but of course he is bigger, he is heavier, he's got further to travel, and he has no momentum from jumping off of the tower. So this really is all about the power in Arthur's front flippers. So of course, if Arthur hits it, you've got to give him a big round of applause too. Okay, Arthur, count to 3 for you, my boy. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! He's away. Did he hit the high ball? Yeah, easy peasy. Well done, Arthur. Excellent job, my boy. Can you stop a little clapping? Yeah, good boy. Well, folks, we are pretty close to the end of the display. However, please stay where you are. There's a couple of things I've got to tell you before I can let you go. First of all, I'm going to run these two straight outside, but when I come back in, I'm going to go stand where I was before with Arthur, and if anyone has any questions, please feel free to come and ask. I love to talk about these guys. I'll do my very best to answer for you. Secondly, folks, when you do leave the seats, please use the stairs. Please don't climb down the benches. We've had some accidents recently. Please take your time. Take the sensible option and use the stairs. Finally, thank you all for coming. I hope you've enjoyed the display. From Arthur, Roger and me, have a lovely afternoon. We'll say goodbye for now. That's it, you two.